The second R of SQ4R is recite. For the recite step, you pause after reading a chunk of text and tell yourself what you've just read. You had been looking for answers to your questions, for information to help you address your purposes for reading. Now you stop reading to state what you have learned for your purposes. Plus, you can tell yourself anything else you learned along the way. The recite step goes beyond thinking to yourself, "Yes, I've got it." No. In the recite step, you are proving to yourself that you have indeed got it. How is this done? Reciting can take several forms. The first is the easiest, but less useful over the long term. Pause from reading, look up, and recite by telling yourself in your mind what you have just learned. Think it. A second way is also easy, but better. Pause from reading, look up, and recite aloud what you have just learned. Say it. Doing this is better because you are not only thinking it, you are also pronouncing it and hearing it. You are giving your memory sensory enhancement. A third way is a bit more time-consuming, but can be done faster than you might realize. Pause from reading and write what you have learned. Write it. This need not be laborious at all. It can just be words and phrases to trigger your memory later. Doing this is better than the other two because you are not only thinking it, you are using your arms and hands to make the words. More sensory enhancement. And best of all, you are capturing your learning for later review. Soon in this course, you will be learning some fast but effective ways to capture your learning in writing. A fourth way is possible, but rare and goofy. It is also very powerful for memory. This fun recite method is not as quick and certainly not as convenient or as sedate as the others. Use movement. Pause from reading and use several of your senses and even your whole body to translate the meaning into another medium. Act it, draw it, sing it, make a rap of it, shout it, pantomime it. Imagine a movie of it, pretend giving a silly lecture of it to an entranced 7-year-old. Dance it, laugh it, cry it, or any other sensory and imaginative way. You will rarely do this method of reciting, but if you do, you will not forget the information. It is cemented by sensory interaction with the concepts: auditory, kinesthetic, visual, emotional, fun, stepping out of your comfort zone, etc. P.S. Don't try this fourth step in the library. On the other hand, you can imagine doing any of these instead of really doing them and still reap some of the benefits for long-term learning. Whichever way you choose to recite, the essential aspect is to confirm to yourself that you have in fact learned the information you needed from that chunk of text. If you cannot recite it, go back to the text and reread to remind you of the important things you need to learn. Then recite it again until you feel you know the important parts.